Hey, this is Lydia, and I have a riddle for you. What is something that you have that can absolutely change your life, and without it, you wouldn't have a life? The answer is breathing. And this is what we're going to talk about as an amazing tool to change your brain. So first, let's practice our breathing. So the kind of breathing that I mean is like the deep belly breath. Think yoga breath. Think the way that babies naturally breathe. Think when you are just so relaxed the way that you breathe. Not that shallow up here sort of stuff, but the kind that gets all the way deep down into your bones, all the way to your toes. So let's try it together. Inhale. Exhale slowly. Do you feel different already? All right, I'm going to show you how this works. So, our breath as a way to change our brain. We're going to make a new brain. There are things that you do every day, just automatic things that you've done your whole life. They're automatic now because you've done them over and over. If you want to know what your brain looks like, think of the things that you do all the time. Your habits, the things that you do daily, create all the connections in your brain. So in your brain, you have these synapses, right? And what fires together wires together. So for example, think of the automatic reaction that you have when you walk out of a room in your house. What do? Well, you probably flip off the light. In fact, you'd probably have to really put attention toward not flipping off the light if that's what you want to do, because it's one of those things like, oh, I'm going out, flip off the light. But think about it. You didn't always react that way. When you were a little kid and your parents were like, come on, turn off the lights, you're always leaving the lights on. It's those things hadn't fired together enough to wire together so that they're a completely automatic reaction. Well, guess what? When you start changing the things that you do, the way that you react to things, mindfully and intentionally doing something different than what's your automatic reaction that has fired together and wired together, your brain actually starts changing. This is totally up to you. Your brain is only the way that it is because of the things that you've been doing. It's called neuroplasticity. It's how we can change our brains and how we create our brains through our daily repeated behaviors that then become automatic, that then become wired together in our brain. So what we're going to start doing is changing our automatic reactions. So for instance, think about stress in your life. What do you usually autopilot do when you're stressed? Maybe you feel like munching on something. Maybe you feel like eating. Maybe you feel like you're getting irritated. Maybe stress creates more stress, right? Whatever it is, you have something that you've reacted to so many times with stress that it just automatically happens. So for instance, what we're going to start doing is just replacing those automatic reactions with breathing. So instead of stress, eat, stress, eat, stress, eat, stress, eat, that has happened so many times that it's automatic, what we're going to do is stress, breathe, stress, breathe. And every time that you just change what you do in reaction, it weakens what's already there. So stress, eat, it weakens that every time and it strengthens the stress, breathe, stress, breathe. Okay, do you see how this is working? So after a while, what do you think is going to happen, right? You've been firing these things together for a long time, but when we start weakening those connections and changing them, what do you think happens when you mindfully say, okay, oh, I'm stressed. Oh, flag. Okay, breathe, stress, breathe. After a while, when you become stressed, when that stress feeling comes up in your body, what do you think you will automatically do? What will be your automatic reaction? That's right. You're going to just find yourself breathing instead of whatever your reaction was before. And your brain is going to start changing. And it's not going to happen overnight, but it is going to happen. And every time that you choose to take a breath instead, you are changing your brain a little more. Our life is shaped with habits. We're going to just start changing your daily habits so that when things happen in your life, I'm not promising there's never going to be stress. There absolutely will be. But what are going to be your automatic reactions after working on your brain? I have clients that their automatic reaction when everything gets really hard in life is, you know what? I've got to do what I've always done. I need dessert. It's my comfort. That's what makes me feel better. I just need to not think about food. I just need to eat whatever I want. That's the default for them, right? Those are the things that are fired together in their mind. But you know what? I also have clients that because for so long they fire different things together, you know what happens when something really stressful happens? Oh my gosh, I'm so stressed. All I want is I've got to work out every day. I just need to eat really clean. I've got to get sleep. I need to just feel good. Things are so stressful right now. I've just got to, do what makes me feel good. Those are the things that are fired together, right? Their stress reaction is to do things that make them feel good and are healthy. And you can decide what you want your brain to be. You can decide what your automatic reactions are going to be, but you do that through being intentional with how you react until it fires together enough that it's wired together. So that's what our brain is. It's just all of these different connections. And so day by day, we're just going to be changing those. So whatever that is, when you get stressed or when you're really happy or when you're in a social situation, whenever you find yourself just feeling a way throughout the day, you can decide, okay, oh, I'm going to take a breath. Maybe that's every time you get into your car, you take a breath. Maybe that's every time your phone rings, you take a breath. You can choose to make those connections however you want them. And that is our first step in changing our brain.